Diabolical. Home. Heading. Play. Restart. Play. Button. Play. Start practicing your evil laugh. As the world's greatest criminal mastermind, choose. Diabolical is fame. Will you be a high-tech daredevil? Relevant. Advertisement. Link. Play now for free. Button. Close interstitial ad. Button. Home. Back button. Dive. Show stats. Chap 1. The opulent. Chap 1.png. Image. The opulent, massive stained glass window overlooking the majestic lobby of Merit City First Financial Bank has a long and storied history, full of romance, dust, and a great deal of banking. But most stained glass enthusiasts agree that, while many honorable and worthwhile adjectives could be applied to the noble old warhorse, austere, beautiful, large, red, and many others, exciting would not be one of them. At least, not until 2:37 p.m. Thursday afternoon, when the window exploded, showering the crowds below with ruble and broken glass. The window did this with its normal dedication to a job well and thoroughly done, aided in its performance by the high-intensity directed plasma charges that had, until only moments before, been lining its frame. The force of their detonation transformed the handiwork of the artisan, Joseph Brahamson, 1881-1937, from a stately statement on the majesty of wealth into a vibrant rainbow of tiny, very sharp fragments of glass. From the right perspective, that is, not cowering on the floor of a bank, deafened by a massive explosion, or watching from the outside, detonator in hand and earplugs in ear, the shards looked quite pretty as they rained down through the afternoon sunlight onto the heads of the hapless customers. And what of that detonator-clutching hand? What dastardly villain would so forcefully desecrate one of Merit City's greatest artistic treasures? Who would startle so many of Merit City's stalwart bird? Oh, right. You. It was you. Next, button. The bank's youngest, fittest security guard struggles to her feet as her co-workers continue to lie, stunned, on the bank's cold marble floor. Smoke and sunlight pour upon them through the hole where the bank's window used to be. Your shadow falls across the guard, and her eyes widen. Little wonder, since she sees a high-tech daredevil, radio button, checked, 1 of 3. A ruthless military attack, radio button, unchecked, 2 of 3. A terrifying apparition, radio button. A ruthless military attack, radio. Next, button. A pair of dangerous-looking soldiers, each carrying high-powered firearms, storms the smoking entrance ahead of you. They spread to the side, allowing you to stride forward in your combat armor. The soldiers move with practice, hard-drill efficiency, disabling the stunned guards with high-tech shock rifles. The sole guard on her feet scrambles behind a desk overturned in the explosion. Next, button. This is going remarkably well, you'd think, as the last of the bank's guards falls before your powerful assault. Obviously, you had been expecting success. Today's attack on the bank was the culmination of months of meticulous planning. Alarm companies broken into, weapons manufacturers raided, costume shops plundered. You take a moment to adjust the camera attached to your costume's lapel. The green light on the tiny device's chassis indicates that your exploits are being successfully uploaded to Darkspace, the internet's #1 database for malignant misdeeds, vile victories, and general blow-stuff-up supervillainy. After all, you think, what's the point of robbing a stupid bank if nobody important hears about it? Next, button. In fact, it's probably time to do something to make an impression on the wider supervillain community. Considering that more and more rookies have been getting into the game in the last few years, inspired by the likes of the murderous Dr. Arachnus or the twisted, mysterious Nautilus, you're going to have to do something if you want to stand out. What to choose? Kill one of the guards, radio button. Show off my power, radio button. Uncheck. Kill one of the guards, radio. Check. Show. Give an evil laugh. Next, button. You nod to the nearest of your loyal shock troopers, Private Ellerby or Ellison or something, you can never keep them straight. At your signal, he expressionlessly opens fire on the nearest guard. Next, button. Double vertical scroll bar. Next, button. Intimidate the bank manager, radio. Blow the vault. Tack my way into the vault, radio button. Now, how to get the vault open? Tack my. Blow the vault, radio button. Unchecked, 2 of 3. Check. Next, button. Next. The bank manager watches with trepidation as you rummage through your pack for something with enough firepower to shatter the massive vault door. He ducks for cover as you pull out a small but feisty hand-fired rocket launcher. The first rocket barely dents the door, although it does trash the rest of the room and sends the manager fleeing for his life. The second through 9th do little more. But you didn't get into the villain game because you were a quitter, and with the 10th rocket, the launcher now reduced to a worthless piece of scrap. The door. Next, button. You honestly didn't think banks still kept their cash in big giant piles like this? Don't they store them as bearer bonds or something? If you weren't already staggeringly rich, this would be a life-changing amount of money. As is, there's still more than $1 million here. All piled up on the ground. You still think that seems really stupid. Next, button. Your soldiers swarm like worker ants, carrying the loot back out into the lobby. A mixture of loyalty and fear keeps them from slipping your new property into their uniforms, which are also technically your property. Before you leave, you pause to leave your calling card, the trademark you picked to symbolize yourself as a villain. A confetti cannon, radio button, checked, 1 of 5. A single feather, radio, a confetti cannon, radio button. A riddle, radio button. A card with my initial on, nothing, radio button. A single feather, a card, nothing, radio button, unchecked. Next, text field, next, button. You head for the exit without leaving anything behind. Because really, why would you want to draw undue attention to yourself with a calling card? You're almost to the lobby door, out into the street where your escape vehicle awaits, when a voice, shaking slightly, calls out behind you, "Stop, thief." You turn, amused as much as startled, to see a single bank guard on her feet, weapon pointed toward you. You recognize her as the one who witnessed your dramatic entrance. Clearly in better shape than her co-workers, the young woman has long auburn hair, bright green eyes. Now, in all likelihood your armor will be able to deflect the bullet's path. Kill this irritating do-gooder, radio button, checked, 1 of 4. Kill her, with regret, radio button. Knock her out, radio button. Offer her a job, radio button. Next, button. Next button. The last thing Jenny Tragerson, daughter of Joel and Ellie, sister of Doug, learns in this sad world is that it's really, really hard to get the drop on someone who's backed up by a small army of well-trained soldiers. You're already turning toward the door when the shot rings out. Next button. You're walking out of the bank into the pleasant April sun, flush with the feeling of a robbery well done, when something explodes behind your eyes. It doesn't even hurt, exactly, but it is amazingly unpleasant, like your entire head is under an incredible pressure. Suddenly, looming over you is a man you have seen many times before on the nightly news, usually accompanied by the words tragedy, massacre, and body count. His head is entirely bald, with a long, hawkish nose. This is Dr. Arachnus. Next button. Strangely, no one else seems to have noticed the world's most dangerous supervillain appearing on a city street. Though there are sirens in the distance, responding, no doubt, to your attack on the bank, none of the passers-by on the street react at all to the madman's first appearance in almost half a decade. One even walks directly through the 10-foot-tall monster, casting a worried glance at you as she does. Suddenly, a grating, nasal voice rings in your eardrums. Greetings, and welcome, fledgling, to the supervillain community. I am Dr. Arachnus, and I have with one of the world's most powerful supervillains suddenly in your head, you can't help your immediate reaction. Watch out. One day I'll be strong enough to do this to you, radio button, checked, 1 of 4. Checked, get out of my head, radio button, please don't kill me. Terrified silence, next, button. Despite the danger, you can't resist. This is the sort of villain you want to become, deadly, terrifying, and capable of anything. You don't know how it's possible to get into someone's brain like this, but it would definitely come in handy. Some say Dr. Arachnus has clairvoyance. Maybe this is related. Show stats, button. Despite the danger, you can't resist. This is the sort of villain you want to. Dr. Arachnus just keeps talking. This isn't a conversation, you realize. He doesn't consider you worthy of that. So, welcome, Aunt. Enjoy your little games, your dark space, your pretensions of money and power. You are left kneeling on a city sidewalk. Escape with the loot, radio button, checked. 1. Burn the money in the street, radio button. Escape with the loot. Escape, burn them, throw the money to the people, radio button. Next, button. Loot successfully grabbed, you run for your escape vehicle and jam on the accelerator moments before the Merit City PD converges on the scene. It's not like you really need the money, but then neither does the bank, as far as you're concerned. You guide your escape vehicle back to your secret supervillain lair. You spent a lot of time debating where you want to set up your base of operations, but you're pretty happy that you finally chose. A nondescript office building, radio button, check. A secluded mansion on the outskirts of the city, radio button, unchecked. A volcano lair, radio button, next, button. Next. It's not the flashiest lair, but the fact is that you've become accustomed to a certain standard of living. This place was prohibitively expensive to purchase, but the wine cellar is fully stocked and the library is extensive. Plus, it's got a ton of underground tunnels that are perfect for hiding troops and stolen loot. Back in your lair, you change out of your costume, after first removing the dark space camera and locking it in its case, of course, and hang it with the others. You turn the news on, listening for any discussion of your day's capers as you log on to dark space to see what people are saying. Next, button. Hi there, folks, I'm Biff Crenshaw. Show stats, button. Hi there, folks, I'm Biff Crenshaw. And I'm Mindy Rodriguez, and we're the formerly married news team, reporting for Merit 6 News. They already know that, Mindy, but thanks for repeating it. Shut up, Biff, you can't tell me what to do. We've got some great stories for you tonight, folks. A bus crash on the highway, a puppy crash in the pet shop, and a whole rain of kittens coming on the weekend. But before that, our top story. Mindy? Thanks, Biff, you philandering piece of trash. Our top story is a daring daylight robbery of Merit First Financial Bank, perpetrated by a new villain who has arisen to bedevil Merit City. Police report that no calling card was left at the crime scene, which may help narrow down the possibilities. The screen shows a grainy security camera picture of you making your big, explosive entrance. You feel a stupid little thrill and think, hey, I'm on TV. Next, button. Text field, 5 East, cash tornado slots, casino, install, AD. Click, vertical scroll, vertical, text field, click. They already know that, and I'm Mindy Rodriguez. Hi there, folks, I'm Biff. Show stats, diabolical, home, back button. Show stats, hide, and they already know that. Shut up, Biff. We've got some great. Shut up, Biff. You can't. Shut up, Biff. We've got some great stories for you tonight, folks. A bus crash on the highway, a puppy crash in the pet shop, and a whole rain of kittens coming on the weekend. But before that, our top story. Mindy? Thanks, Biff, you philandering piece of trash. Our top story is a daring daylight robbery of Merit First Financial Bank, perpetrated by a new villain who has arisen to bedevil Merit City. The screen shows a grainy security camera picture of you making your big, explosive entrance. You feel a stupid little thrill and think, hey, I'm on TV. Next, cash tornado slots, casino. Install, image. AD. Game. Music folder. 1. Photos. Double tap to open. Screen recording in progress. Button.